Hi, welcome to Kahron's Corner, the broadcast that not only bring you the top car reviews, but also bring awareness and funds for the rare genetic disease called P10. So join us while we take a ride through the world of cars and make a difference in fighting against P10. And so buckle up, find me on YouTube, and get ready for a ride through the world of cars with Kahron's Corner. Hi, I'm Kahron. I'm your host for Kahron's Corner. Today, I'm here with Mr. Donald Martin. Mr. Martin, please introduce yourself.
Yes, I'm Donald FoSho Martin. I am in the building. Thank you for having me this evening. I am excited about it.
So today, sir, we got a couple questions for you. We got a few different questions for you. And
Sure.
so the first question is, what inspired you to be a comedian?
What inspired me? Oh, that's a great question. So my grandmother has always been funny. My mom and my aunts and uncles. So I grew up in a family that we always was making jokes, having fun. Our family was the type where you would come over like on a Saturday and you was guaranteed to laugh, whether it was from my grandma, from my mother, and my uncle. So our whole family. So they inspire me. So like everything that I do, I'm inspired by my grandma, my grandmother, uncles, and my mom, of course.
And the next question we have is, have you always wanted to be a comedian?
No, to be honest, where I'm at now is kind of one of them things where I pinch myself sometimes because I can't believe I'm doing this like full time. So it is it's something that I never thought I'd be. Like I loved it, but I never thought I could actually make a living off of it.
And the next question we have today is, what can you tell us about a moment or a career or a moment that shaped you into who you are today?
One of my moments that shaped me into, especially in my comedy life and just life in general, is when I was in the car business and I was driving 4 hours a day uh, as a salesman, and then I was promoted to into management. That was my day, January 2nd, 2021. I never forget that day, January 2nd, 2021, where when I was promoted, I said, there's nothing I can't do in life.
Yeah. How do you stay motivated in your work, particularly during these during the challenging times?
Oh, how do I stay motivated? Just my faith in God, my prayer life. Also knowing that I've been through tough times before. You know, we went through a pandemic and we still got the effects of that going on. And then also what keeps me going is because I love to make people laugh. I love it.
Yeah. What is the most important lesson you have learned in your career so far?
To be patient. I learned to be patient. Everything is not going to happen when you want it to happen, but just to be patient. But also, I've learned that on this journey, there's never an arrival. So whether I feel like I'm not doing too good, or I believe that I'm at a place in my life where everything is going well, I know no matter what, I still got more to do.
And the next question we have here is, can you share some biggest challenges that you have faced in your career and how you overcome them?
Some of the biggest challenge you face is the fact is people promise you things that they cannot deliver, or they promise you things and then they won't deliver. That's more of so whether it's being on stage in California or being other places, I think that's one of the hardest challenges because you get excited. And when you get excited, you be like, oh, okay, I'm going to do this and do that. And then it falls through. So now how I get through it now is until I actually know for a fact that it's going to happen, I don't necessarily get excited about it. I believe it's going to happen, but I also believe just to not have an expectations of, oh, it got to happen. It may not. That's where the patience come in.
Yeah. The next question we have here, how do you approach risk taking or decision making in your work?
Oh, so how do I approach it? Usually I take a couple of days to be able to look at the pros and the cons of what it needs to be done. Like sometimes I got to turn down jobs or turn down comedy shows. Much sometimes I want to do them, but if it's not financially, sometimes if it's not financially fit for my life or my career, or if it's really just time consuming, I've learned to just say, you know what, it's not worth it. But also comes with my prayer life. When I pray, I ask God, is this something I want to do? And I don't do it all the time, but I'm getting more acclimated in doing that with God and saying, is this where I need to go and this is what I need to do?
And that's actually really good. I actually was thinking of that because being having an interview with Mr. Martin, that was a real big this a real big opportunity for me. I had a list of people I wanted to thank, and I had to thank them off camera because this was a big opportunity for me. But the next,
So I want to piggyback on that. This, like, you're an amazing young man to be able to do this and have a desire. Like when we talked the last time I seen you face to face, just being where you at 14 years old, like, man, this is like you at a level now where just think about, everything is a day by day thing, but when you turn 17, 18, you have all this experience under you. So I'm excited as well. Like this is pretty dope to me.
did y'all know that? I didn't know that. First card.
Oh, what was my first car? I had a Buick LeSabre.
Oh,
Yeah, I had
yeah,
a Buick LeSabre. Yeah,
yeah. That's a Hall
yeah,
of Fame card right there.
yeah. I had a Buick LeSabre. I was like
A
20,
time where you
21.
had to make difficult decisions and how you arrived at the decision.
So one of the most difficult decisions I ever had to make was the job that I was working at, where I was making six figures. One of the difficult decisions is to resign from that job. That
Yeah,
was very, very, and it was scary. Like it was very, because the fear of the unknown. I didn't know. Like I'm used to getting a check every week or every other 2 weeks. You go from that. Just bought a house. Just opened up a convenience store. Did all them things, and then with prayer with God, God told me to resign from my job. So that was probably the most difficult decision I had to make, because that decision I made affected a lot of other things in my life that and so now with that decision that I made, uh there's really no difficult decision for me,
yeah,
because that was the hardest I had to do.
yeah. And for finishing up these little questions, is there anything you in your career you would have done differently?
You know what? I would say absolutely not, because everything that I've been through, even with the bad decisions, even with the things that went on in my life, I'm a better person. I'm more grateful. I'm more insightful. I'm more patient and more intentional in what I'm doing. Like when I do perform, like I'm intentionally, when I perform, I'm performing knowing that I've been gifted with a gift that is amazing. So I know it. I walk in it. I believe it. I am that person.
Did y'all know that? I didn't know that. And I had to come ask you, what was your favorite car growing up?
My favorite car growing up, I mean, I would say, what car did I like? I always like to I'm not familiar with cars, but I would say I always wanted a Cadillac. When I was young, I said, "Oh, I want a Cadillac." So I don't know what
Yeah,
year and nothing like that. It was just the
yeah,
longer. You're better with that, but the longer body Cadillac, whether
yeah.
it be like a Fleetwood or something like that, I don't know.
The Fleetwood is nice. Cadillac, the old school Cadillacs has always been good. Even in the newer days, they still out here. And
Oh, okay,
yeah, I'll
so I
say
like them, and I want an old school. That's my goal too, is to have an old school car. I always wanted that, an old school car, drop top, um, just a nice color, nice interior, nice motor. Like I wouldn't
yeah,
know what it is. I just want to look nice and sound nice and drive nice.
yeah. So it can get you to A to B and looking your best. Yeah,
Yeah. So that is like, as I get older, like my my list is smaller.
Yeah,
So my whole thing, I just want to have an old school car. Now they're going for like 25,
yeah.
$30,000.
Oh,
So
yeah. Yeah,
that
it's going
means I'm gonna
for
get famous, get famous and make a lot of money, and then I can buy one.
yeah. Having the older school cars, the old school cars are going for way cheaper than what they was back in the day.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah, because the quality you're not able to find a lot in good condition. So,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah. What is your favorite car now though?
My favorite car now, I'm a Yukon. I love Yukons. Yukon
Oh yeah,
Denali's. I love the big. So I'm more of a SUV,
yeah,
big, black, black rims, black leather, and just silver or chrome, whatever, grill, like the GMC. So that's the
oh
GMC
yeah,
Yukon. That's what I really. That is with the old school car, and that one, them
yeah,
the two. I don't have to have 30 cars. Two is enough
yeah.
for me.
GMC is always good for all terrains. You'll be
Yeah,
good. Yeah.
that is true.
And if you could have any superpower, what could it be? What would it be?
If I could have any superpower,
Yeah, you got any
ah
superpower.
man, I was gonna say read people's mind, but that's a scary thing to have. I wouldn't want to read everybody's
Yeah,
mind. If I had a superpower, what would it be? Is to be I think a superpower is to not to have pain, like physical pain,
yeah.
like
Oh
not to
yeah,
feel pain.
yeah. Not
The physical pain. Now, so not to feel physical pain, because I'm getting old, young man. I'm
yeah,
47, so these bones don't kick like they used to.
yeah, yeah. It's our next question is: what is the best advice you can give someone like just starting out in their career and or just a young business owner?
My number one thing is, first of all, you got to know that's what you want to do.
Yeah,
You have to know that's what you really want to do. Number one, and if once you find out that's what you want to do, that's your purpose, then come up with a plan. Come up with a short term, mid-term, and a long-term goal on your purpose. Then as you write things down, what you want to accomplish in year 2023. I always say what I want to do in 2023, how many shows do I want to do? How I plan on accomplishing that. Once I get there, what's the next step for me to take? And then you got to understand it's all about patience. You're not going to get it right at all times. Even in me being in comedy for 2 decades, I still have challenges and I still deal with letdowns, disappointments, and even mistakes on my own. But then I understand that if it's my purpose, this is what I'm supposed to be doing.
yeah. The next question we have here: if you could have dinner with any historical figure, what would it be?
Uh, that is a good one. Oh my God, there's so many to want to have with, but give me about 30 seconds. I'm going through all the names and
Oh, just do top
people.
five. Just do top five.
Oh, top five. Oh, top five. Okay, so top five. You got to put Martin Luther King in there.
Yeah.
Got to put Martin Luther King in there. I don't know if you ever heard of Desmond Tutu. He's famous out of Africa. Desmond Tutu. That look him up. Tutu. I believe that's how you spell it. Desmond Tutu. Um, Dick Gregory. He was a comedian activist. Put him in there. Um, Malcolm X. I would love to talk to Malcolm X. And who would be my fifth one that if I sat down with him, I think one of the coolest people. Hold on. Let me go back. I would like to sit down with Maya Angelou. If
Oh
I,
yeah.
that's one that I literally could be like. To me, she has so much wisdom, And I'm probably missing some, but that'll be like my
Yeah.
top 5.
Yeah, and the next question we have here is, how do you define success?
How do I define success? Is when you can get up from from making mistakes, where you can get up from failure and try it again, and try it again, and try it again
Until you get it right.
until you get it right. And when you get it right, you need to get it right again.
Yeah.
So that's what I could, because success is in the eye of the beholder. They say the beauty, because sometimes we can allow other people to define what success looks like for us, but you have to be able to see what is successful to me. Like if one thing I never forget, I use this now. Your grandmother, Miss Van Horn, she would ask me when I did my first show in August of 2020 or 2021, something like that. And they said like 500 people, and she asked me, "Well, for you, what success look like for you, or how many people need to be there?" And I gave her a number. We superseded that number, but it made me understand what success, because I could have said 100 people. That's successful to me. Now everybody else could have looked at that. You ain't had nobody there. But to me, because it's in my eyes, I was able to share with her, this is the number I need to have for it to be successful. So that's how I look at everything.
Describe a time where you had to make difficult decisions and how you arrived at the decision.
So one of the most difficult decisions I ever had to make was the job that I was working at, where I was making 6 figures. One of the difficult decisions is to resign from that job. That
Yeah.
was very, very, and it was scary. Like it was very, because the fear of the unknown. I didn't know. Like I'm used to getting a check every week or every other 2 weeks. You go from that. Just bought a house. Just opened up a convenience store. Did all them things, and then with prayer with God, God told me to resign from my job. So that was probably the most difficult decision I had to make, because that decision I made affected a lot of other things in my life and so now with that decision that I made, uh, there's really no difficult decision for me, because that was the hardest I had to do.
Yeah. And for finishing up these are the questions. Is there anything you in your career you would have done differently?
You know what? I would say absolutely not, because everything that I've been through, even with the bad decisions, even with the things that went on in my life, I'm a better person. I'm more grateful. I'm more insightful. I'm more patient and more intentional in what I'm doing. Like when I do perform, like I'm intentionally, when I perform, I'm performing knowing that I've been gifted with a gift that is amazing. So I know it. I walk in it. I believe it. I am
Did
that
y'all know
person.
that? I didn't know that. Any questions? Any words of wisdom that you would like to give?
Um, Longevity
Yeah.
is very important in whatever you do, meaning that you gotta continue to do it. Like I've been doing comedy for 2 decades. I'm in the place in my life now where uh, I'm actually benefiting off of my longevity. After me doing it, I have a lot of guys that started with me, and they'll call me, or I see them when I see them in the streets or whatever, and they be like, "Man, you still doing it, man?" Like, and they it was just a hobby for all of us at the time,
Yeah.
but because of longevity, you got to stick with it, even when you don't feel like it, even when it don't make sense, even when you want to do something else, when something else catches your eye. If you know this is your purpose, stick with it. And
Yeah.
trust me, as you stick with it, it's going to pay off.
Yeah.
It will. I promise you.
Yeah.
It will always, and that goes across the board. Whatever you do, like you 14 now, imagine what 2020 gonna look like. Imagine what 24 years, at the age of 24 years, you got 10 years in the business. That means you're constantly gonna be learning. You constantly going to get to know how to be better with the mic, how you need to be better, just different things you learn. Because now I'm in a place in my life when I go do some comedy, I've been doing it for 2 decades, so I know some tricks of the trade
Yeah.
to make people laugh. Because now it's just a part of who I am.
Yeah. To finish off here, what did you? Let's say if you could have any car now from like all these new cars that's coming out, is it any one of them you could have now? Right now.
I mean, I would want, man. They got them cars out there. I think it's like a, it's one of them like chameleon cars or something. I'm not sure. I just seen it like on where, but like the leather. I want alligator seats and
Oh
that you
yeah.
can recline. The back seat you can recline on. So
Yeah.
that's what I want. All black, like black out, black tinted windows. But I want my leather on the interior. I want it to be like a peanut butter brown. That's what
That's real
peanut butter.
nice.
That's what I want.
Yep. So we're gonna go ahead and finish up here. It's been real nice having you.
All right, man.
Yep.
Thank you, man. Y'all take care. All right. Continue to do what you do. I'm proud of you, man.
Yep. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good one.
All right.